What's good, YouTube? We are back with another video. We're here to change the world together, and that's exactly what we're going to do. This is my fourth time recording this, so we're gonna hope that this is the last time I have to record this, okay? It's been different reasons why I had to delete the last few videos, but we just gonna hope that it is the one. So today we're going to be talking about the perception of yourself and how it affects the way the world reacts to you. So we're gonna get right into the video. Like I said, let's hope I don't have to do this again, okay? My journey of becoming more self-aware, becoming more in tune with myself, and learning more about myself, I realized that the way I perceive myself and interact with myself is going to reflect in the world. So if I'm showing myself love and being kind and being confident and being fearless and knowing that I can do anything I put my mind to, then it's going to show up for me in the world. And there's different ways that it will, like, it's so many different levels to it. So I'm going to try to break it down in the levels as best as I possibly can. But first I'm going to start off with how your self-talk is going to affect the way that you perceive the world, and in turn, as well as what you attract in this life. So what you put out is what you get back. That's just a natural law in life, cause and effect. We learned that in school. So if you're constantly feeding yourself negativity and you're constantly being over analytical with yourself, you're constantly judging yourself, you're constantly being negative and rude and pointing out the bad within yourself, you're going to do that with every other thing in your life. It's like the way you do one thing is the way that you're going to do everything. So if you're constantly pointing out all the bad things about yourself and how you're not good enough and how things are always going bad and this, that, and you're just constantly focusing on that, then you're only going to get more of that because, for one, you're putting that out. So like I said, cause and effect, you're going to get it back naturally. But as well as what you feed your brain is what your brain is going to look for throughout the day. So if you constantly tell yourself something, then you're constantly going to look for those context clues throughout your day. So if you're constantly telling yourself that there's opportunities, that there's abundance, that people love you, that people are kind to you, that people, that you're beautiful, that you're amazing, that your aura is shines bright, if you're constantly saying those things to yourself, then you're going to search for those things throughout your day, so you're going to see it more, you're going to experience it more, just from the fact that you're feeding your brain something so much that it's going to start looking for those context clues. Like, for example, you know how when you're running up the stairs and you feel like somebody's chasing you? I'm sure not everyone in the world experiences that, because if they didn't grow up watching scary movies or watching like crime or thrillers, then they wouldn't have programmed their brain so much to feel like if it's dark and you're going up the stairs, there might be something chasing you. But your brain is going to look for those context clues because that's something because you fed yourself fearful situations many times through what you're watching and what you're consuming. So that's just a simple example that a lot of people have experienced, and just proof to show that your brain will just search for whatever you're feeding it. So like another example could be, you're at the mall, somebody's staring at you, and someone who's very confident in themselves and is constantly feeding themselves self-love, constantly feeding themselves positivity, constantly feeding themselves just a positive way of thinking of self. If someone's staring at them, they're gonna be like, oh, I probably just look good, my hair looks good, my face is cute, or my aura just probably makes them drawn to looking at me. But if you're someone who's constantly putting negative within yourself and you're speaking negative into yourself, and someone stares at you and be like, bro, they probably hating, they probably got something negative to say, what they staring at, like, why they looking at me? And it's like, there's two ways to perceive everything. So, and that goes into my next point. The glass half full and the glass half empty mindset. A lot of people have a mindset of the glass being half empty, and so you're going to constantly keep living in that reality of having a glass that's half empty. And basically what that means is there's two people. I'm just going to break this down because I know we hear it all the time, so sometimes it just becomes a saying rather than something that has a meaning. So, the glass half empty person sees a glass half filled with sand, and they really needed sand. So they had no sand in the beginning. They had zero sand, but they wanted a lot of sand. They really needed sand. So the glass gets filled up halfway. They don't know how it just happens. And in their head, they see the glass halfway filled, and they're like, bro, man, it's only halfway. Like, I needed it fully filled to the top. Like, bro, like, why would this happen? Like, I can never get what I want. Life just sucks. Everything just always goes wrong. Nothing ever goes my way. So they're just looking at it from a glass half empty perspective, and they're like, I wish it was full. It's not good enough. It's never going to be good enough because it's not exactly how I want it. So they have that negative perception of life. And then there's the person who has the glass that's half full, and they're like, oh, my glass was empty and now it's half full, so that means I only need halfway more to get to what I want. Or just having a positive perspective of, I'm so grateful that my glass is halfway full because now it's not going to take me as long to get to the full side of it. So like, just looking for the positive in situations, looking for the good, milking the best and the lessons and the positivity from everything that happens, including the bad stuff. Like, you want to milk it for all the good, all the lessons, all the blessings that come from even the bad things that happen in life. And it's so important to do that because it doesn't only affect the way that the world shows up for you, but it also affects how positive and how happy you feel. And your mood is everything. Your mood is going to change your whole experience in life. If you have a negative mood and you have a negative like mindset, because your mood goes in with your mindset. So if you have a negative mindset, then you're going to most likely have negative moods consistently. And when you have a negative mood, you're going to, like I said, look for all the negative things in your life. So you're going to make life harder for yourself and the other people around you. So it's so important to understand that the way that you treat yourself is going to reflect the way that the world sees you, which goes into my next point. If you're around people consistently and they're connected with you energetically, there might be times where you guys say things at the same time, or you're about to go do something and they go and do it right when you're about to do it because you're so connected, or you guys start moving your hands the same way or speaking in the same way. It's because when you're around somebody all the time, your energy start getting connected and you start feeling connected to them, so much so to where it's like you can almost read each other's minds, right? So with that being said, if you have a boyfriend or a family member or a coworker or a boss, and you're always thinking to yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I have all of these flaws, and everyone's focusing on my flaws. If you're constantly feeding your mind that, then those people will feel those thoughts. So they might not have even been thinking or perceiving you in that way before, but because they're close to you and they're connected to your energy and they're connected with you, like mentally, you guys are sending each other like thoughts and ideas. So when you're that connected with someone, and if it's someone like you're in a relationship with, like I said, or someone you work with, and you're constantly saying negative things about yourself, now they're going to start picking up on that because they can feel the negative thoughts that you have about yourself because you're interconnected. So if you're constantly saying negative things about yourself or negative things about your relationship, or just thinking negatively about anything or about other people or about yourself, people can feel that. People can literally feel that because when you're connected, we're all naturally connected on a soul level because we come from the same source. But as well as if you're connected as in like you know them personally and you guys have conversations or you're around each other all the time, you don't even have to talk, but just energetically being around someone all the time, their energy you can pick up on those things. Like when someone walks in a room, right? They don't have to say a word. They can have a blank face. But just from them walking in the room, you can feel, oh, that person's pissed off today, or they're not in a good mood, or something's wrong with them. You know, we can all kind of read energies that way, or for the most part, most people who have the ability to have empathy and to pick up on other people's emotions, right? And compassion as well. And cognitive compassion, because I just learned of that. Or cognitive empathy. I learned that that's something new. But anyways, so next thing I want to say is, what was the last point? We got to the way that you speak about yourself. Oh, next point is also the way that you treat others is going to affect the way that the world shows up for you. So if you're going around and you're always judging people and you're always speaking negatively of others and you're always trying to pick apart other people, or you go out your way to make other people's life harder, then that's what's going to show up for you in this world. So life is going to naturally be harder. Bad things are going to keep happening to you. Now your tire's blown. Now, I don't know, just something negative just keeps happening. Like now something happens and you're late for something, or now the food that you're ordering isn't good and now you're losing out on money because you're making life harder on other people, and because you're not living in your loving truth and you're not giving love enough, you're not going to receive that as much from the world, because like I said from the beginning, cause and effect is everything. So what you put out is what you're going to get back. If you have the ability to go out the way for others and the ability to just be kind. Everyone has the ability to be kind for no reason. So just going out the way to open the door for someone, or to just be kind when you walk into a grocery store and just asking someone, hey, how's your day going? Instead of just going up to them and say, hey, can I get this? Some people don't even say, hey, they just be like, they just throw it on the counter and don't say anything to the person. But one thing I'm very, very big on is going out my way to be kind, going out my way to give a smile, going out my way to have a compliment, because those small little things that you do have such an impact on the way that other people feel. You don't know how much they might have needed that compliment that day. You don't know how much they might have needed someone to just give them a smile and make them feel seen. So that's something I do consistently. I everywhere I go, if I have a waiter, even if my waiter is in a bad mood and they're being rude and they're being negative, that has nothing to do with me. I don't know what they're going through on the back end. So if I do have a waiter and they're rude and they're upset, I'm not gonna have attitude back. I'm not gonna kiss my teeth and be like, girl, what's wrong with you? Like, if you don't want to be here, then like I'm not gonna do that, because I don't know what they're going through internally. So what I am going to do is try to uplift them if they're in a bad mood and make them feel better. And that's why everything I interact with and everyone I interact with, for the most part, is a positive interaction, because that's literally what it's like to have an interaction with me. Interactions with me are positive. I don't go out my way to just be rude. I don't go out my way to piss people off. I don't go out my way to fight fire with fire. Like, for example, say somebody pissing you off and they're just being really negative and nasty to you and you don't like the way they're treating you. But then you go and you give them the same energy back. You're just as bad as them. So how are you going to sit there and be so mad at the way that they act, but then you're going to act just like them? You being just like them. So you just must not like yourself. So it comes down to having self-love, self-respect, and knowing yourself enough to know it doesn't matter how you act or how rowdy you want to get or how negative you want to be or how much you want to speak bad. I'm going to still be in that positive mindset and that positive vibration. And anyone who listens to Abraham knows the more that you perceive someone in a way and the more that you feed a personality trait of somebody's, the more they will show up in that light for you in your life. And it's literally it's everything that I'm saying. Like, it's all grouped into one thing, but it's just levels, like I was saying. So it's like, if you have a positive perception of yourself and you're constantly feeding yourself love, then you're going to constantly look for the outside of yourself because that's the way the brain works. And as you're looking for the outside of yourself, you're going to find new ways to be loving and kind and generous and abundant to other people, because it's natural. If you're uplifting yourself, you're going to be naturally called to uplift others, because the way that you treat yourself is the way that you perceive everything. So if you're constantly giving yourself compliments, then it's going to be natural to see somebody with some cool shoes and say, hey, I like your shoes. Or somebody whose hair looks nice to say, hey, I like your hair, because you're constantly doing that to yourself. So it's a natural thing. It's like muscle memory. It just becomes like second nature. It's just something you do. You don't really have to think about it. And for people who are naturally kind this way, you don't even realize how impactful that is, because it's something that you just naturally do. But there are so many people who do not live in that way, especially in the American culture. It's such a tit for tat. It's such a revengeful. It's such a comparison. It's such a competitive culture to where everybody's competing with everybody. And so with competition, that there's judgment. And when you're judging, you're picking things apart. So you're saying, well, this person has this, but I have this. And they have that, but I have that. And so it becomes a tit for tat. It becomes a situation where there's no genuineness, or there's no purity, or there's no love. And it's just negativity, like I said. So you want to break free from that by feeding yourself positivity, feeding yourself affirmations, feeding yourself mantras. And the world will show up differently for you. If things keep going bad for you and bad things keep happening, you keep just bad things are happening. Like, it could be anything, car breakdown, or somebody cancel plans that you were excited for, or like I said, you keep ordering food and it just comes out bad. You spending money that you're just wasting money on stuff. Like, it could be even small things, like small details that are just not going good for you. It's a sign that maybe there's more that you should be doing to give love out to this world. We are here to serve others. If you do believe in anything in the Bible, or just believe in God or a higher power, period, we are here to serve others. That's what we're here to do. We're here to make this world a better place, because when we make the world a better place, when we are in a better place within ourselves, you naturally make the world a better place. It's not something that you have to force. Like, you don't understand your power. You don't understand how powerful it is to walk into a room with a smile. How powerful it is to walk into a room and say, hey, how are you doing today? Oh yeah, bro, that's good. I'm glad to hear. I hope you have a good day today. I hope the holidays work out for you. I hope something good happens for you today. Just going out your way to do those small things, you don't understand how impactful they are, not only for the person that you're interacting with, but for yourself as well, because it makes you feel good too. Being kind to others feels good. It does. It literally does. Being kind, going out the way, seeing someone smile, making someone smile feels good. It literally does. Making someone feel good feels good, because they are you and you are them. We are all interconnected. Like I said, we're all connected to the same source of energy. So therefore, the way I treat you is also a reflection of me, because you are a reflection of me, because we are all connected. So if I'm constantly speaking positive to me, like I said, I'm going to constantly speak positivity to others. If I'm constantly speaking negativity to me, I'm going to constantly look for negativity in others. That's just the way it works. That's just the way the brain works. That's just the way the laws of the universe works. Like I said, what you give is what you get back. We all know that. So be a servant of others. Be somebody who serves this world. Be somebody who not necessarily serves the world, but I should say somebody who serves community and serves love and serves positivity. Somebody who serves helping others. Like, somebody who's just a servant in the sense of, like, being so willing to go out the way to just help for no reason. Being kind for no reason. And one thing I'll never understand is, like, so many people expect life to just be handed to them on a silver platter and just be perfect and everything just supposed to go their way. But you don't make anything easier for other people. You don't ever go out the way for other people. You don't ever say, hey, I don't want to do this thing and it might take me some time, but let me do it anyway, just because it might make someone else feel good. It might make someone else smile. And you want people to go out the way for you. You want people to drop everything at a dime for you. You want everybody to give you this loving, high vibrational experience, but you don't give that to everybody else. And I mean everybody. including the people you don't like, especially the people you don't like. It doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop at your enemies. It doesn't stop at the people who did you wrong. It doesn't stop at the negative people in this world. You don't get to have a negative perception of someone and then now treat them exactly how they treat the world. That doesn't make any sense. If people are negative and you don't like how they act, that doesn't mean treat them the same way. That doesn't mean go on their level. It means remove them or remove yourself. If it's to that point where you literally feel like somebody is draining you or just negative or not positive or just affecting your energy so much, then that means remove yourself rather than putting yourself on that level of negativity, rather than allowing yourself to get stooped down low. Because like I said, your mood is the most important thing in this life. How you feel is the most important thing ever, because how you feel and your mood is going to dictate what you do. And of course, you're not supposed to live life on your feelings. But like I said, if you can control your feelings more, it's going to be a lot easier to be effective and efficient in this life. It's going to be a lot easier to get things done and be productive and be loving and being kind if you know how to regulate your thoughts, therefore regulating your feelings, regulating your mood. Everything that you feel, you are putting into your vortex, and your vortex is what attracts things into your life. So this is how I like to think of it. Think of like an imaginary tunnel, right? Or like we could even say like a tornado, right? And so there's a tornado and it's like in the middle of the tornado, it pulls up the information or the thoughts or the ideas that you're having, your actions, your thoughts, everything that you're feeding and consuming and putting into your subconscious is all being funneled upwards in a red spiral, right? And then on the outside of the tornado, what's being funneled downwards to you is your manifestations. So everything that you put out is the red. Everything that comes back is the red as well. But this is like, I wish I had like a whiteboard or something to show this to you, because I feel like what I'm saying is like so tea. But like, I'm just saying, just think of it as like literally like there's a tunnel, and everything that you put into your mind and everything that you tell yourself and everything that you think, and your thoughts aren't even yours. Don't forget that. Your thoughts come from your environment and from your experiences. So your thoughts can be changed. The way that you think about life and the things that you think can be changed just by changing what you consume. But everything that you think goes into the tunnel, and the tunnel funnels right back to you. So whether it manifests physically or whether it manifests internally, it's going to manifest if you're constantly feeding into your mind. So if you're constantly feeding to yourself, I'm going to be successful, I'm going to be abundant, I'm going to be positive, and you're putting the action into it as well. Because don't forget, action matters. It's a team. The spiritual and the physical are a team. You want to think of it and know how to manifest it, but you also want to know how to create it in the physical reality. You want to know what steps you have to take in the physical reality. It's like yin and yang. They work together perfectly to create that balance, to create the manifestation. So that's how you have to think of everything. But you guys, my points are, the way that you think about yourself is going to affect what your brain is looking for throughout your day. When you go out your way to do positive and go out your way to be kind to others, the world will go out of its way for you as well. And the things that you consume and the things that you feed yourself are going to be funneled right back to you. So if you're constantly watching negativity, if you're constantly feeding your mind with negativity, if you only gossip with your friends, if you never are talking about God or a high power or love, if you're just constantly feeding negativity, then that is what you're going to experience. You're going to keep getting them same partners that break your heart. You're going to keep getting the same friends that backstab you or you just can't feel connected with. You're going to keep getting the same experiences from family members. You're going to keep getting the same experiences because you don't know how to change and effectively navigate life. And like that post said, everybody be seeing them quotes, and it says what you're not changing, you're choosing. So if you don't choose to do something differently, then nothing different will happen. We've all seen Far Cry, and that scene where the most like famous scene from Far Cry, when he says, do you know what the definition of insanity is? When you do the same thing over and over and you expect different results. So if you want different results, you have to do something differently. So if you want things to start showing up in life in a more positive, loving, beneficial, high vibrational way, then you have to know how to effectively attract that through the way that you treat yourself. And the way that you treat yourself is going to affect the way that you treat others. And the way that you treat others is going to affect the way that the world shows up for you. I think it's like 1 + 1 = 2. It's kind of like black and white there. Like a lot of things are very complex, and like it's super complex. But this is one of those things that's like super black and white. Like that's just what it is. But I hope this helped you in some type of way. Any recommendations you might have for videos you want me to drop, or you need advice, you can either DM me personally on Instagram, if you don't want me to like put your name, like if you don't want people to see the comment and you don't want people to know who it was, if you want me to answer a question anonymously for a YouTube video, just DM me. Or if you have a question in general that you want me to answer, or just a video or a topic you want me to touch on, put it in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe, share, show love, support, because we are going to change this world, like I said, and we're constantly doing that every single day just by watching this video. Me making this video is changing the world, and you watching this video is changing the world. So we are literally a team. We're interconnected. We are a super team. So let's keep being that way. I love y'all. Thank you for watching. More videos will come soon. Have a great day. Have a great night. And yeah, we finna change the world, like I said.